that works. That's how trust works.
Yeah.
What pitch to, like, how would you say that? Because I feel like if I were to say that to a girl, I could see her, like, my wife or...
Then why would you care about the paternity test? How would that be? About it, then who cares? Give me a single argument other than because it makes me feel bad. I want to hear it.
But why would you want to make her feel bad?
So that's I feel bad.
If you're worried that she'd be cheating on you, why would you even want to?
So that's I feel bad. It's I feel bad.
Saying clearly we don't have a strong foundation. Sorry.
That's I feel bad.
No, it's not. It's saying we don't have a strong foundation.
Why would that matter if it didn't make one of them feel bad?
Because she could say, like, if we don't have a strong foundation of trust and faith,
because she makes her
no,
feel
she
bad.
could feel neutral about it and still be like, oh, okay,
so
he
if
doesn't
she,
trust
so
me.
wait a second,
and
maybe
he's gonna be constantly.
If she feels neutral about it, if she feels neutral about it, if she feels neutral about it, who cares?
Let her finish her point.
Say your point.
If she feels neutral about it, then who cares?
I'm saying if you don't have trust in a relationship, typically that will lead to a bad relationship, regardless if the party.
She should not give a flying fiddle fart about getting a paternity test done at birth. Like, literally, she should not.
Let's analyze what feeling neutral means.
Now, I will say this. There's one exception to the rule. I will say this. If you guys know that this child's genetically not going to be yours, like, for example, like an infertility situation, like you had to go through like a sperm donor, a sperm bank situation, then yeah, you already know from the jump that your child is not going to biologically be yours. That is the only exception to the rule where I believe that it should not be mandatory at birth, because you already know, right? You already know the scenario. You already know the situation. Or me and my husband's situation where we've only been with each other, and that's other than that, then yes, mandatory, paternity test should be done at birth to confirm fatherhood for the dad, so that way they can determine whether or not the guy pays child support or not, because that's super important. Because I'm sorry, ladies, but the guy's got to make sure that the kid's his. He needs some peace of mind as well. You want to have peace of mind that your child's going to be provided for. Well, he wants to have peace of mind to know that child's going to be his. And you never know. The guy may be an upstanding guy, and he actually might provide for a child that's not his. I've seen many cases where they know that the kid's not his, and the dad's being amazing, like the stepfather's being really amazing and providing for the child that's not even his. So you don't know, ladies, how it's going to happen. Just, be patient. And if you're so neutral about it, guess what? You should not care.
You don't care.
Yeah, you should not care on whether or not there should be a mandatory paternity test. Like, literally, that concerns me. Mia Khalifa, you concern me, baby girl.
The thing about it is we need to analyze what feeling neutral means. Feeling neutral means you don't care whether it's bad, you don't care whether it's good. You're in the middle. So if you're neutral about it, it means you don't give a damn on what the outcome becomes. Like, you don't. It's just, and that's why I want to share it, because she ain't listening. Like, that's one thing I hate about her is she thinks she's so fucking smart when she's talking to Andrew. She thinks that she's
not that smart. Nope.
She thinks she can school Andrew, but she can't. That ain't happening. I feel like my computer's being wonky. But
yeah. Like, oh my God.
Relationship, feel bad about it or not. That was my only point.
Yeah, but that's the only argument is feel bad.
No, it's not. I literally said it doesn't matter if they feel bad or
because
not. She can object and say clearly we don't.
Like, let's look at it this way. And he says something to this effect, but think about it this way. If your husband, boyfriend, I can't remember, is he your husband or boyfriend?
Husband.
Okay. If your husband is talking to other women and say you don't like that, hold on. Yeah. If he's doing that and you say that you care that he's doing that because it bothers you, well, maybe my analogy sucks right now because my brain's not processing. But long story short, to say that you care the fact that he's doing it involves the fact that it makes you feel bad. And she ain't getting.
And honestly, the girls that care and say that they don't want a mandatory paternity test done at birth are probably the women that that would probably sleep with a guy that is not the daddy, and to make sure that the child is the father, is the person that she's in a relationship with. Like, that's probably that.
Right.
If you are that type. And yes, there are exceptions to the rule for mandatory paternity testing. Absolutely. There are exceptions to the rule for like sperm, donation, for like sperm bank situations, for infertility, for obviously like in vitro fertilization, sort of things. That's fine. Those are fine exceptions to the rule, because you obviously know that the paternity is not going to be you. You know that going in.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's being honest with, that's not committing any sort of like paternity fraud or anything like that, because you know that going in. However, when it comes to like a woman or a man having multiple partners, sure. I think that if a man or a woman has had multiple partners, I think it is absolutely safe to determine that the woman have, paternity tests, a mandatory paternity test done at birth to ensure that the child is his. That is just, it gives the man reassurance to make sure that the child is his, and that's perfectly fine.
And that's because it used to never be like this. Men never had to worry. Like, men knew that that's his baby. Nowadays, with this sexual promiscuity going on, that women are out here just all willy-nilly giving it up to, not all, but the ones that are just willy-nilly giving it up to Tom, Dick, and Harry, and then mad that their husband doubts or boyfriend doubts that he's a father. Mandatory DNA testing at birth would give women what women have always, should have always been provided: responsibility for their own consequences of their own choices.
Mm-hmm.
All decisions we make, man or woman, they either come with consequences or they come with rewards.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Like, if I decide to go out in a lightning storm, there's only two options. I'm going to get rained on and I'll be lucky not to get electrocuted, or I'm going to have a lightning bolt go through my skull and die. Those are my two options. I have to be smart with all decisions that I make. Same thing goes with women. It's like, yeah, men want to provide, we want to protect, we want to show that we care, but honestly, we have to look at traditional values. Men are required to be traditional. Women, on the other hand, they're not required to be traditional. We want them to.
And what's funny is that the patriarchal system, when done correctly, y'all know it's supposed to suck for y'all. Like, when done correctly, right? Y'all know it's supposed to suck for y'all. But the fact of the matter is, like, the feminism, when done correctly, is supposed to suck for us. Like, it's supposed to show us and make us more accountable for our actions. But the fact of the matter is, feminism and the patriarchy, they both have been put in a narcissistic set of hands, and now both systems are being used to tear each other apart, and that's not how it should be. That's not how it's supposed to work. And nowadays it's actually feminism that is tearing up and basically bullying a patriarchal system that actually is beneficial to us, because we get provided for, we get protection, we get all of these different things. So really, in Australiality, women should love the patriarchy because it benefits them when done correctly. Now, I will say this. Has it been done correctly in the past? Absolutely not. There has been plenty of times where it has been toxic. It has been used as a means to control women, and that's wrong. Okay.
Hold on. Do me a favor for our viewers and explain that like they're a 2-year-old, so they understand it better.
Okay, so when you do something, right? When you don't do what somebody tells you to do, or whenever you don't respect the other person, that's bad, right? Whenever you disrespect a human being,
you're a bad boy.
You're a bad boy, right? Like that thing. Like you don't understand.
Or girl.
Or girl. Like when you hurt somebody and you talk and you start calling somebody names or belittling them or completely disregarding somebody else's needs, or you're not willing to see things from somebody else's perspective, and you're not willing to basically help somebody and be a servant to them, do you really think that either system is going to want to respect you? No. Like, for example, if a woman is not willing to put in the work for the relationship, the man's obviously not going to respect her. And then guess what? Whenever it comes to the man just taking advantage of the woman in any scenario, that system's not going to work. It's not going to be very effective, because guess what? Those systems are there as a means to basically serve each other. That's what feminism and the patriarchy is supposed to do. They're supposed to work together to make the world a better place. But unfortunately, nowadays, due to toxic, abusive hands that both have been set in, both of them, now it's been used to terrorize each other rather than to help each other.